For the latest top tips, reviews and advice, please subscribe below.
Hello and welcome to Attwoolls Camping and Leisure with me, Mike. Today I'm giving you guys a bit of a review on a brand new tent from Outwell. So this here is the Outwell Broadlands. Comes in two different sizes. They do the 5A and the 6A. 5 and 6 obviously refer to the amount of people that sleep. With me today I've got the 5, and as you can see it's kind of a sort of a 2-zone, 3-zone kind of sort of area really. So you've got the sleeping, living, and then there's a nice open canopy at the front, which is quite smart. The thing that Outwell have really done is actually made a whole collection now that's an incredibly keen price point. So you're not necessarily compromised on the quality that you know and love with Outwell, but they've necessarily just sort of stripped out kind of the very eccentric features that Outwell have always been very famous for, and just really sort of gotten right back to basics and just put the main core features that you really need in it. So the Broadlands is a nice new tent for the 2019 season, and that's what really doesn't change in terms of the aspects of it as such. Generally, you're still talking the same kind of nice spec fabric you come in Outwell, 4,000mm hydrogen heads. It's still very, very waterproof, but it's still very lightweight and also durable as well. As you can see, this tent's got really nice big sort of PVC windows, and they also got that slight tintedness to as well, so you can get obviously privacy but still get visibility in and out and plenty of light inside the actual tent itself. Fluorescent guy ropes obviously help to illuminate it in the darkness, and yet again it stops hopefully there being a trip hazard. Necessarily there is other ones in the collection. I think personally in the Broadland sense the 5A is probably the best out of the 6 and the 5, just because I think for the price point that it's at, for the space you get, it works an absolute treat. The 6, in my personal opinion, is probably a bit too close to the Chatham 6A. You know, there's not much difference in price and what you benefit from that. I think really, for me, the 6 is, you're better off going up there, but the 5 I think is a bit of a winner. You get a pump obviously included with the actual model itself, and the joys of it is actually it's slightly taller as well, so you're not bending over so much, but it's a single action. The joys of actually having a single action is that it's all on the downstroke, so you're thrusting air as you put down, it then thrusts into tubes. It actually doesn't take an awful lot to put up. You can check out our own Attwoolls pitching and packing video that I've done on this. It took me on my own best part of probably 8-9 minutes for a tent like this, which is perfect for weekend camping. Alternatively, you want to go for a longer stint, it just makes it even more easy. You know, you haven't got to spend the best part of half an hour putting your tent up, ready for your lovely weeks away. So you've got a joy of versatility. Let me just, excuse me, throw this for my dog. This is little Archie, go on. But the joys of it, like I said, is that it's about 20 kilograms in pack weight, so it's quite light, and actually in terms of pack size, it's quite decent as well. One thing you've got as well is low-level ventilation on both sides. So beneath the window, you've got a ventilation panel, which obviously allows you to get a circulation of air, and also as well at the back, there's a nice ventilation panel at the back there, like I said, just to really help sort of fight condensation. The one thing I think this tent, probably my favourite feature about a tent on this, is that the front panel as such can be positioned completely sort of a half door or fully open door, but there's actually a mesh panel behind that that kind of mirrors that. So you've got a whole mesh door as such, or half mesh door. So key ventilation. With that rain safe canopy door, it doesn't matter if it's suddenly chucking down rain, you've still got a circulation in the tent. It's a bit of a hybrid, so it's mostly air, and each beam is done individually due to Outwell's little sort of specialised valve, which again is quite easy and usable. But there's a fiberglass pole on the front just to make, again, a bit more of a canopy, a bit more sheltered area, and you've still got a decent amount of depth that you couldn't in theory put kind of like a cooking set or sort of chairs out here. So again, you've got a coverage from the side against the rain and the wind. But let's talk through a few more features about the Broadlands as we head inside. So now we're inside the Broadlands, you can kind of get a bit more of a better idea for internal headroom and certainly more space, as well as the layout of the tent itself. So looking from sort of the front backwards, as you can see the front door, which I was talking about on the outside. And the joys of this, like I said, is the fact that you can have it sort of in three positions, obviously fully shut, halfway open, or fully open. And that goes to be the same with also the mesh door, which sort of mirrors up behind it. So if I just undo this, so along the top, you've got a mesh door like that, which obviously can then be rolled away, tied up back, and keep it out of the way. Alternatively, like I said, you've got a really beautiful big mesh panel in both sides, so you can get really great circulation with the coverage on the front, but still obviously keep the bugs and critters away. There's also a zip that runs on the bottom here as well to keep it all nice and neat. Alternatively, you can open it completely up. Thank you, Archie. Open it completely up. Like I said, roll it all the way back, so I'll just do a bit of a rush job of this for the time being. It's always easier when you get two people. And then you've got a little toggle retainer just to keep it all just so. So now it's all an open space. You've got plenty of room, and then you can say interior headroom is pretty decent as well. So even in the corners, no problem at all. And that helps to make, even for sort of a small footprint, the tent feel quite big. And then bear in mind, this is sort of a 5-berth. You've got, obviously, sleeping at the back, a decent sized living area. So even when you put sort of like tables or chairs in here, you've still got room to roam around. You're not on top of each other. And that extra bit of canopy area really is perfect for, like I said, just having it as a cooking area just at the front. Generally, the headroom in this is quite, you won't find many small footprints like this with this amount of headroom in height. And you still got the main core features, like I was talking about on the outside. So the tinted windows you can see there give great visibility, but then you've also got privacy curtains. So located just so beneath the window is a toggle up privacy curtain. So you can literally just toggle it in position. Nice and easy to get your privacy when you want to as well. And you've actually got a point halfway. So if you want to take it halfway down to allow a bit of light in, you're not necessarily completely, see everything that's going on. You can just go halfway with it. Nice and simple. Fold that down the other side and just gives you a bit more. Low level ventilation can be found below the windows as well. So each side, you've got a window panel on each side. There's also a door on this back side over here. And yet again, it's just kind of a single door roll to the side. Nothing, too fancy as such. In the main living area, you've got a cable entry point that's located nice and neatly from here. But in fairness, you could actually put a cable through the front if you wanted to. And yet again, with that, you've got a hanging point for a lantern positioned here and little Velcro tabs so you can have the cable roll away. And you've got a cable entry point on each side. So it doesn't really matter which way the electrics, which way the power point is. You can obviously accommodate for that. Into the sleeping area, you've got a slightly darker tinted inner bedroom at the back here as well. And the joys of this, yet again, just helps to kind of make it feel a bit darker first thing in the morning. But the thing that Outwell have sort of created for their unique sort of bedroom system is the way that the front door can actually, the sleeping area can then become part of the tent. So this is partially in the Broadlands 5A, it's a 3 and a 2. On the 6, it's a 3 and a 3. Now this is where I think personally something like the Chatham 6 for the 6 range is better, because you've got sort of 3 separate bedroom areas for 2 people rather than just actually, and then yet again you've got a front canopy on it as well for a little bit more. Whereas the 5, I think ideally I can see this is small families, maybe 4, then you've got a sort of a nice 3-person zone for sort of mum and dad, and then 2 for the kids. Or 3 people. It works out quite nicely. And again, spacing wise, I think proportion it works out the point that even it's not going to be too many. Probably I wouldn't, if you're looking at a 5-berth, probably wouldn't say this. It's better to go up a level. With this be more of a comfy 4 or even a very comfy 3 for that matter. There is a divider between the bedroom areas, so you can have a bit of privacy. Admittedly, it's just a toggle divider just kind of to keep the price point downward to where it needs to be. A big ventilation panel on both sides. This door misery is that way. But nice thing, back to that unique feature about the door itself, what you can do to make it feel part of the tent and easy is actually, when you have the door zipped up, like we have here, you can actually unzip it completely. So zips go down. So the front door is all 1 panel per one, and you can choose where you want to have it. So yet again, what you can do is, when you come to making it almost like an open plan area, you can quite happily roll this into the middle, pop that, and there's a little storage pocket located at the bottom of this inner, and it will just simply roll into that and kind of keep it neat and tidy, and then you can reuse the toggle. So then, yet again, it's just kind of flawless, and you've got no lip necessarily really into the sleeping area, which again, you're not going to trip over as. There is actually a cable entry point as well into the inner bedroom, which is worth mentioning. So you can get your mains hook up and have your phone charger next to you when you sleep, as well as little storage pockets positioned on each inner bedroom. So each side's got that to get it when you want to. The inner bedroom can be left in position, so you have to take it down and up every single time. Overall, I think the Broadlands, like I say, is a really nice model, incredible price point, especially if you come to know and love Outwell and what you expect. I think for the space you get and the tent you get, and certainly the interior room, I think is really, really good. Like I said throughout the video, I think the 6 is probably a little bit more orientated to a slightly large family where the chatting works better, but check out that video as well. But let us know what you think of the tent as well. Check our website below, and obviously comment in the blocks below, and always subscribe to our YouTube channel if you want the latest sort of review videos and the newest things on the way out. So that in essence is kind of our Attwoolls video review on the Outwell Broadlands 5A and the 6A.